I'm Steph Stricklen with GeekWire Studios here at AWS reInvent 2024, and I want to talk to you about transformational business, and no better person to talk about that and what's going on in the cloud and AI space than to introduce you right now to Capgemini's Genevieve Chamard, the AWS Global Partnership Executive at Capgemini. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. How has the conference been for you overall?
It's been absolutely phenomenal. I've been in the business for the past 14 years with Capgemini, but it's actually my first year at reInvent. So it was a big crash test into this beautiful conference, and it's been absolutely wonderful for my company.
I can't even imagine 14 years in the industry and then to really see all of these thought leaders come together, and certainly with the work that Capgemini is doing with AWS, I want to talk more about that. Generative AI is not only a buzzword, but is now an everyday practice, right? It is starting to separate the businesses who are at the forefront of what they want to do. I want to know how this approach, this adoption of Gen AI and your partnership with AWS is really helping transform your clients' businesses.
Absolutely. So we actually, as part of our partnerships, we're having early discussion with them around this fascinating technology and had very clear understanding that that technology could become absolutely disruptive and transformative for the world. So we typically looked at it in terms of how fast could we get ahead of the curve, and being able to not only have a series of experts who knew what they were talking about, but also affect the clients and helping them also taking advantage of this big technology. So we looked at it from three angles. The first angle was to train the resources from Capgemini and making them experts in that fascinating technology. So we actually now have the GSI that has most of the Gen AI badges on AWS, and that realized in less than a year. We also were in the forefront in terms of being beta testers of the AWS Gen AI technologies, so we could adopt it, try it, and create our own solutions on top of it, and also giving them feedback on their technologies. The second aspect of it was also creating very fast some use cases that would address the client needs. And based on our deep understanding of the industry needs and our client needs, we're able to, by industries, understand what were the use cases that would matter the most from them. And last but not least was also creating solution assets that we can bring to the client to accelerate their journey towards Gen AI. And on that, we created a system where we harvested the knowledge for those trained resources on Gen AI internally to Capgemini, organized some hackathons in order to pool the talents from Capgemini in a very fast pace, like 2 weeks hackathons, and create a lot of MVPs by industry that we can now deploy at clients. And the result is absolutely phenomenal. We're having very various projects with clients, from diverse type of Gen AI solutions, from chatbot, conversational agents, search type of solutions, as well as Gen AI apps and so on. What we can do in 2025 is absolutely fantastic.
You talked about a couple of different things right there. So first of all, you've now set yourself up for even some rapid growth yourself as a company in 2025 as you provide these solutions to your clients. But I want to talk about something you mentioned just before that, which was these real world cases. Can you take me into the world of finance or retail or manufacturing to explain to me how this collaboration with AWS is benefiting companies directly? Give me some examples.
Absolutely. So basically, what has been very good with AWS is that they understood how much Capgemini has a deep industry expertise and is able to address all of the functions of a client organization. So we're not only able to consult them, but also understand their engineering processes, understand their supply chain, understand their production, all the way to the customer experience. And they've been leaning in on our industry focus. This year, we've been focusing a lot on financial services, as you mentioned, on energy and utility, on automotive, aerospace and defense, and public sector. And you'll see in 2025 that we continue to basically develop that very depth of expertise and bringing AWS solutions into those client needs for those industries. One particular example is actually on this show floor at our booth, where it's a fascinating solution bringing our understanding of the industry along with GenAI. It's around intelligent inspection. Imagine that you, for example, have a offshore oil rig, or you have those power facility that are very far to monitor, and you would have in the old world have to send people in order to inspect the installation and so on. But what we created is that we use synthetic data to actually recreate what a pipeline should look like, what the highest quality should look like, right? And now we're using drone in order to go inspect those remote sites and compare it to those synthetic data to understand what are the locations and different assets that a energy company would have to deploy personnel in order to repair.
That is very tangible, and I think sort of sets me up for what I want to talk to you about next. One of the things that is not unique to Capgemini, but is certainly a cornerstone of your company, is sustainability. So when we're talking about that, it can mean a lot of different things, but in the context of the solutions that you're providing with AWS across the various fields, how are you helping companies meet their environmental challenges as well, and sustainability challenges?
Yeah. My Capgemini CEO makes actually sustainability a priority for our company and a priority for our client as well. He set some very ambitious goal for us to become net zero in the next decade, and that aligns very well with Amazon net carbon strategy as well. And as a result, we signed a climate pledge together this year. How we affect company from a sustainability perspective as well, our client company, we look at it from 4 different areas. One is how we help them have a sustainable strategy vision, and that's where our Capgemini consulting branch is very trained and very enthusiastic into helping our clients there. The second one is around creating sustainable products. And we have a very unique capabilities at Capgemini called Capgemini Engineering that has 50,000 engineers that actually have been helping all of these big, large S&P Fortune 2000 companies creating products. And now we are actually making the creation of the product sustainable, right? And influencing our clients this way. The third area is around operations, supply chain, and all of the different functions of the company, of a client company, where we can also help them adopt processes that are sustainable. And for example, change their IT organization to operate in a sustainable way. How we bring vision to action is actually one of another solution and client reference that we brought to this show, where we were on stage with AWS and shared a story that is very dear to my heart, where we helped the World Economic Forum and a series of academic institutions looked at how they can, they were using Excel spreadsheet basically to help countries make some recommendation on nutritious diets. You can imagine that in the developing world, you sometimes don't have the right crops, don't have the ability for people to buy all of the nutrients that they are supposed to have. And you have the World Economic Forum helping those countries and consulting them on how to substitute some of these nutrients. They were using a very manual process, but with the GenAI solution that we created, we reduced that manual process from 1 simulation per day, let's say, to multiple simulations in a matter of minutes, right? And that basically helped us not only make recommendation on a nutritious basket, but also the next step was to look like how can you then produce the different products and nutrients in a more sustainable way. So we're able to help them also in some countries that have gone through the journey to reduce their carbon emission by 20% from their farming activities.
near and dear to your heart, and I think also near and dear to what we're facing as a planet. So that is commendable. Genevieve, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. Thanks for coming down and telling us more about what Capgemini is up to.
Absolutely, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I'm Steph Stricklen. You're watching GeekWire Studios.